In Baltimore's Shipley Hill neighborhood, close to 500 families rely on Tony and Mary's Gethsemane, the only corner store in this food desert where violence and drugs put it in the center of a war zone.
I remember times in our household growing up where we didn't always have a lot of food. I didn't want people to have to go through the same thing that I was going through. You know, if I could do something to change their life just a little bit, I would do that.
Tony Lawrence has been a part of this community since he was a child. 15 years ago, he promised his neighbors they would never go hungry.
How much loss do you think you accept in any given month, just so that people can eat?
I know, and it's not a guess, 25%.
But that's come at a high cost.
It's a big number.
It is.
The store's condition, not nearly as generous. Floors unable to support the weight of proper storage needed for fresh fruits and vegetables. Water damage, mold, falling tiles. Overwhelmed by the challenges, branding expert Martin Lindstrom says Tony, like many retailers, has lost his focus.
What was your first impression of Tony's business?
Tony is like a classic retailer. He wants to sell everything to everyone, and that means that he is not standing apart from anyone else. Fear is incredibly prominent here. When you walk into the store, you can only walk 1 or 2 people at a time, and that means people cannot browse around. They cannot be inspired.
All that is about to change.
There's no way you can compete against the big supermarkets, right?
Exactly.
But there's a couple of things you can learn from those players. Tony, one of the most important things in successful retail is the sense of smell. Do you know why? Because smell is actually intriguing us to buy more. Now, how much does it smell of chicken in your store?
Not much.
Not much. It smells of everything else but food, right?
Exactly.
Martin's plan? To build a strong, lasting brand around Tony, creating loyalty from his customers while offering something that will make them come back for more. And that begins with what the community needs and wants.
What is it you would like Tony to sell in his store?
Fresh fruits and vegetables.
Fish.
Fish.
Whole grain breads.
Let's say they started to sell what you've told me right now. Would you then, in return, promise me that you would go into his store and just once give it a try? Yes?
With a team of contractors, painters, even the mayor of Baltimore pitching in just 1 week, Tony's corner store is transformed. There's synergy between the exterior and the interior, both now communicating freshness. The merchandising has a purpose, and there's a new discount loyalty program, allowing Tony to give food away, but also ensuring his customers come back.
I just want to let the whole community know that when they were putting the sign up over top of the store, they put Tony's and Mary's Gethsemane. But there's one important word they left off, they forgot to put up there. And that's community. And I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Mr. Tony.
Thank you.
And most importantly, a sense of pride has returned to Shipley Hill.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate that, bud.
What do you think the impact of these changes will be on this neighborhood?
I think the impact will be pretty amazing. And because people, first of all, will feel someone finally cares about them. Secondly, they'll feel it's one of theirs.
This is going to be a life changer because the community, they will look at it and this store will be like an oasis in the desert. Change is possible.
Branding expert Martin Lindstrom is also the author of Biology. Nice to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
It's hard not to fall in love with Tony. He's such a lovely, kind, giving soul.
He is.
But he was missing a few things, as I know you found out. One thing that struck me is you said there were 4 products that really he needed to get a handle on. Milk, eggs, bread, and bananas, because people know those prices. What was he doing wrong?
Well, he overcharged. Do you know what the price of eggs are?
I think they're about $2 a dozen.
Is that VIP eggs or what is that?
Trader Joe's brand, large brown organic.
There we go. Well, listen, he charged too much on those 4 categories. That meant that people thought he was overpriced. So we had to lower the price on those and basically up the price on some of the other categories.
So if you make a little bit less money on those, you'll actually do better in the end.
Absolutely.
So that's one change you made. You said he had lost his focus. This happens to a lot of retailers. Other ones that we've worked on projects together, we saw that as well. So how do you help small businesses regain that focus?
Well, the first thing is, and this sounds strange, but retailers rarely know how customers perceive them. So they should go out and ask customers, how do you perceive me? What is my image? And then they should match that with reality. And the second point, and this is very important, they need to create a very succinct concept. A concept which really stands out from the crowd and is extremely focused. If they do that, they basically are standing apart. And then third, they have to be amazing storytellers. And Tony was a great storyteller, just not in the store.
So you're working on him with that. We'll be back there to see how he's done after a month. We're getting ready to head back down in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to find?
I think we're going to find a very energized person, but I also think we're going to find a person which did not follow up on the advice. Tony, I hope you'll do it, right? Because if he does that, we know from experience he will turn it around. Yet he's such a nice person that sometimes he wants to continue giving away things to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that will continue that trend.
He doesn't care as much about the bottom line. He cares more about the people. He's a good man. All right, well, we're looking forward. Fingers are crossed. We know he wants to make a change.
Absolutely.
All right, Martin, thanks.